14. I know it's young, but I was always much older than my years. I had to be, being the eldest of 5. His name was, Peter Layton. And he had floppy blonde hair and terrible acne, but he was gorgeous. He went to the boys' grammar school. I used to watch him through the railings.
Paul, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was about 19. It was just before I went to university.
Can you tell me about it? Would you prefer Alona to leave the room?
Oh, honestly, Paul, you've told me about Nancy a million times.
Seems strange in front of... No, it's okay. I'd been going out with Nancy for a couple of months, and we used to babysit for Auntie Mary every Friday night. Well, this particular night, she was upset because I was leaving for Glasgow that Monday. She said once I got to university that I'd meet somebody else. And she was crying, and I was crying, and before I knew it, I was between her legs, and...
And?
Well, she was right. I did meet somebody else at university.
No, I meant the sex. Was it good?
Sort of. She was quite experienced, and I was very nervous. I spent a couple of minutes trying to put it in the wrong place, but she sorted it out.
You never told me that.
I soon got the hang of it. I did very well at university.
Graduated with distinctions. Good for you.
Look, are you sure you want to go on with this?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Paul?
I feel like I'm in this room with 2 therapists, and at the end of it, I'm going to be getting marks out of 10.
That's because you are in the room with 2 therapists.
No, he's not. I'm not a therapist now. I'm a partner in a sexually dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah, and guess who's the sexually dysfunctional one?
I think sexually dysfunctional is a bit strong. And it's hardly ever just one person's fault.
I've told him that.
Now, I know you're going through a difficult patch at work. Do you think that's affecting you?
Yeah.
Let Paul answer.
Sorry.
She does that all the time. To be honest, it had started before that. Alona took me away to Scotland for my birthday last year.
I forgot about that.
Can I finish? It was supposed to be a romantic weekend, but I just... How can I put it? I couldn't get in the mood. I think Alona was pissed off with me.
No, I wasn't. I enjoyed the
You were
break.
pissed off.
Okay, I was. I'd gone to a lot of trouble organising everything, getting a sitter for Fiona and sorting Kieran out, and, you know, I'd had my hair done and my legs waxed and bought new underwear.
So why do you think you couldn't get in the mood, Paul?
I don't know. I think the problem was Alona never asked me if I wanted to go to Scotland.
For God's sake, it was supposed to be a surprise.
No, it's what you do, Alona. You hardly ever ask me about anything.
What? That is utter crap, Paul, and you know it.
You decided where we were going to live.
You said you liked the house.
Yeah, I do, but you bought it with Graham. I feel like I'm sleeping in his bed.
We bought a new bed.
You know what I mean. You decide when we go on holiday, where we're going on a weekend, if we're staying in, if we're going out. You decide if we're going to have a child, and then you decide we're going to have an au pair.
You were dilly-dallying about changing your mind, and I was in my 30s. Are you saying you didn't want Fiona?
No, I'm not saying that.
And we'll sell the house if you don't like it.
Well, there you go. There's another decision you just made. You make all the bloody decisions.
Except for sex. You get to decide when that happens, right?
I wanted a baby for you. I already had a child.
Yeah, and God forbid I should say anything to your child.
Because you can't say a bloody civil word to him, that's why. What do you think it's like for him? He lost his father when he was 10, and then some other man moves into the house.
That is exactly it. I am some other man. I'll always be some other man other than Graham.
Graham's dead.
Isn't he the lucky one?
Dying from cancer at 38 is not lucky. And watching your 10-year-old son watch his father die is horrific, believe me.
And it's not Paul's fault, though, Alona.
I'm not saying it is. I've never brought it up before.
Well, perhaps you should.
It was not being able to do anything about it. I just felt helpless.
Paul?
I know they've both been through a tough time. And I've never lost anyone close to me, so I can only imagine what it must be like. But it's 9 years ago.
You've no idea, have you?
I am sorry Graham died. I am, really. And believe it or not, I do actually like Kieran, and I'd love nothing better than to be part of his life, but I'm not allowed. If I say anything to him or chastise him, I get the foul look, and he does need some structure in his life. I'm actually good with young people.
Yeah, we all know how good you are.
I can't do this.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
From the word go, she has never believed me or supported me over this.
That's not true.
It is true, Alona. Even before the accusation, when I told you she was waiting for me after the meeting, you asked me if I'd had sex with her.
I thought that's what you were trying to tell me.
You're lying.
And you told me you did want to have sex with her.
I never said that.
You did. You said you responded.
To a kiss, that's all.
You responded. You forget I've seen the girl. You wanted sex with her. I know you did.
Maybe for a second I thought about... But wanting and doing something about it are two completely different things.
Not in my book.
You can't control what goes through your mind.
Yeah, but you have to control yours. You're in a position of responsibility.
Don't tell me what I already know. Yes, I work with young people.
Yeah, and
yes,
have you ever asked yourself why?
Excuse me?
Look, I think this is developing into a slagging match. We'll leave it there for today. Meanwhile, I'd like to give you both a couple of tasks to do. Okay? Now, Alona, I know you've seen these sets of questions many times, but I want you to answer them in as open and honest way as you can.
There's no point in doing it otherwise, is there?
And one for you, Paul. It'd be good for you to start tonight, because we've covered a lot of ground and feelings are a bit raw.
This is a questionnaire for controlling women.
It's more general than that.
No, but that's what we use it for.
Alona.
I'm not controlling. Yes, I make decisions because somebody has to. Paul is incapable of making a decision.
Do you let Alona make all the decisions, Paul?
It's more than that. He expects me to make them.
That is complete
I'd love
and
it
utter
if Paul
bollocks,
took
and you know it.
responsibility.
It's interesting, isn't it? The first time you had sex with... was it Nancy? She sorted it out for you? It's just something for you to think about. Alona, you asked Paul why you work with young people. I'd like you to think about why you're a sex therapist.
So, 1 is good, 2, 3 and 4 are okay, 5...
Yeah, I know.
I'm just getting things straight for myself. So each question starts with...
How I feel about myself.
Right.
Which is not great at the minute, so 5.
Do you want to talk about that or move on to the next question? Alona.
I'm thinking. I've said some really horrible things and I'm sorry. I don't know why I say them. I don't know why I want to hurt you, but I should know, but I don't.
That's why we're doing this, isn't it? So we can find out why. Shall we move on? How much fun we have together?
5.
We do have some fun.
Not for a long time.
Well, maybe we should plan to have some fun.
Well, it's difficult with this investigation hanging over us, and I'm not blaming you.
Well, it depends how much importance we put on it.
What if they find you guilty?
Well, then we'll have to deal with it. This is about you, not me. How much fun?
I said not enough. It's bad. The last time we went out to the pictures, we just ended up rowing.
Well, let's try not to row the next time. I'm going round to Viv's tomorrow night. That's where we first met.
Yeah, and guess what? We're sleeping in the same room. Only she's had it decorated.
But let's make a pact not to row.
Okay. Next.
My partner's importance to me.
1. Very important.
Is that true?
I love you. I know I've got a funny way of showing it sometimes, but believe me, I do love you deeply. I can't bear to think of you with... Bahushka, I must have told you half a dozen times to knock before you come into a room on an evening.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for Fiona's micropet.
And when you're wandering around the house, it might be better if you wore a dressing gown or something.
I don't have a dressing gown.
Then I will buy you one.
I hope that wasn't for my benefit.
Now who's being sensitive?
Well, why did you say that to her?
Because I found her in bed with my 17-year-old son, remember?
Yeah, but he isn't in this room. He's upstairs.
Yeah?
You felt uncomfortable because I'm here, not because of Kieran.
No, you're wrong.
Alona, I felt it from you. I could have touched it. You thought that, didn't you? You couldn't help it, but you did. That's the point I was making earlier.
All right, I'm sorry about what I said in the therapy room. Now can we move on?
How many's coming then?
Dunno, depends who turns up.
I'm going to the off-licence later if you want anything.
I've no money.
Have you got enough beer?
I've got 2 cases, but I'm hoping people will bring stuff.
I'll get you another couple. My treat.
Cheers.
By the way, there's condoms in the back of the bath.
Bathroom cabinet. Yeah, I know. I've got my own, thanks. What's the nice guy routine for?
Nothing. Just... forget it.
The beer would be good, though.
I'll drop it off on the way back.
Cheers.